Buonasera e benvenuti a tutti. Mi chiamo Arabella. Sono una celebrante indipendente e una cara amica di Jordan e Luca e condurrò la prossima parte dell'evento di questo pomeriggio. Good evening and welcome everybody. My name is Arabella. I am an independent celebrant and I'm a very good friend of Jordan and Luca's, and I am going to be leading the next part of today's event. It's not every day that a show at Fashion Week ends with the designers producing quite a finale like this one. In fact, I'm going to be presumptuous and assume that none of you will have ever experienced anything like it. So I think you'll be talking about it for a long time. We all know that Jordan and Luca like to challenge the normal, and they've excelled themselves this time. You really are in for a treat. Something completely unique and unusual, much like Jordan and Luca themselves. Is it real? Is it imagined? What is this? Well, I tell you, the show is the wedding and the wedding is the show. You'll hear more about how it all came about, but for now, let's welcome the grooms, Jordan and Luca. Okay, I'm going to tell you their story now. Love, much like fashion, is all about finding that perfect fit, even if it's wonderfully unconventional. And today we celebrate a union as delightfully unconventional as it is inspiring. This is, without doubt, the most unusual wedding that I've ever had the privilege of leading. I don't think I can top it either. The idea to combine their wedding with their show was Jordan's. For years, he and Luca didn't feel the need to make it official. Marriage was never a necessity for them. It was just one of those abstract ideas that occasionally floated between them. Besides, Luca had always harbored a certain distaste for weddings, especially gay weddings. So he could never really picture himself part of one. So when Jordan paused mid-onion chopping one evening and stood in front of Luca, who was absorbed with Netflix, to say, "Why don't we get married as part of our show?" Luca's response was immediate. "You are a genius." It made perfect sense. Half their friends would be already here attending. They're practically married to their work, and the whole thing would feel spectacularly them. I know they've both been playing it down, but as plans and arrangements have ramped up, the excitement levels have too. Today is not just a celebration of love. It's also an ode to their shared accomplishments, 14 years of navigating life together, and their unapologetically unique bond. And the fact that it's all quite bonkers is definitely a plus. So I know you're probably all curious, how did these two beautiful men meet? Well, the answer, naturally, is in a public toilet in a... Yes, they did. They met in a public toilet in an East End bar. Jordan had just come from a lesbian sex party, while Luca was out on a date with a guy that Jordan had, in fact, gone on a date with a few weeks before. When their eyes met, Luca thought, "Who the fuck is that hot guy?" But they couldn't exactly strike up a conversation there, so numbers were exchanged, and a secret rendezvous was planned for later that night. Luca told his date he wasn't feeling well, even convincing the poor soul to book him a cab home. Instead, Luca headed straight for the agreed meeting spot. Oops, sorry, I've lost my spot. There we go. A bus stop near Liverpool Street. Jordan and Luca spent the next few hours talking and kissing until the sun rose, with Jordan exerting extreme self-control, managing to refrain from putting his hand up Luca's kilt. Luca wasn't looking for anything serious at the time, but Jordan was undeterred. He proposed they wait 3 weeks before taking things any further, a timeline that Luca claims is unheard of in the gay world. I've got a funny story about that first meeting. Luca had only just arrived in the UK and didn't speak English particularly well. Jordan told Luca that he was a milliner, but Luca heard something different and told all his friends that he'd met a super hot millionaire. The illusion was crushed a few weeks later when Luca went to Jordan's council flat and learned that a milliner made hats, not millions. Their journey has been anything but linear. The first attempt at a relationship fell flat. They loved the idea of being a couple, but the connection just wasn't there. Luca told Jordan he was too English, but neither could really properly express themselves, and so they called it off. It was sad, and of course, they only realized what they'd lost when it was gone. 6 months after ending things, Jordan couldn't ignore the pull he still felt towards Luca. Slowly, he worked his way back into Luca's life with platonic coffees, casual hangouts, until one day he sent the text. "Luca, you still make my heart race." It was a bold move, and for what felt like an eternity, there was no reply. Jordan was terrified he'd overstepped, but finally Luca replied, "Same around here." That was the moment they both knew it was real. This is a relationship that's full of paradoxes. Jordan and Luca are different in so many ways, and yet they are perfect for one another. Like many of us, their dreams are not always in sync, but rather than see conflicting ideas as a problem, they are aware that the potential for the future is always changing, so they try and center themselves and live in the present, focusing on the business, enjoying their furry babies, and looking forward to the day when they can move into their dream house in Notting Hill. Luca has some OCD tendencies, but has learned to tether them in certain situations. For example, Jordan is an excellent cook, but he happily preps surrounded by chaos, where Luca needs classical music, precision, and the immaculate use of every fancy kitchen gadget he owns, which I think is quite a few, in fact. Jordan will happily use one fork to prepare everything. It drives Luca mad, and he usually has to leave the kitchen, but the dinners that Jordan makes are always worth the compromise. There are many qualities that Luca admires about Jordan, not least his amazing skills at cooking. Jordan is Luca's point of reference for strength and stability. He has enormous admiration for the journey that Jordan has been on, his messy past and his recovery, and he understands and respects that is what has made him the person he is today. He also knows that Jordan will always have the right answer and will never let him down. Jordan has, in many ways, made Luca more British than the British. While Luca has taught Jordan patience and open-mindedness, Luca can't resist teasing Jordan for his constant battle with his fringe, or his habit of telling everyone who calls, "Oh, I was just thinking of you." Jordan, in turn, knows Luca's quirks intimately, like how he'll instinctively pout if he's kissed while he's asleep, but he'll scold Jordan if he tries to kiss him when he's awake. Both have learned that their differences have presented opportunities for growth and acceptance. Luca came from a privileged background, and Jordan has shown him that life can be tough, but that challenges can be sexy as well, and they should embrace and dance with it. When I write these stories for couples, I generally ask them for 3 words that they would use to describe the other, because it really helps me write the story. I couldn't use the words that these two gave me. Jordan's 3 words for Luca were stubborn, Tory, sympathizer. And Luca's 3 words for Jordan were annoying, annoying, sexy as fuck. I mean, I may not have been able to write a story about them, but I still had to use the words because I think it says everything about the two of them. In the 14 years so far, there have been many incredible memories, the epic holidays involving endless days of nude sunbathing, eating, laughing, and feeling their very best, thousands of trips to Italy, and happy days in Laguna Beach. The shows, the dogs, even saying goodbye to their beloved beagle Darwin was an amazing moment for them, albeit one of the saddest. And the future is waiting, a chance to grow and change and unite. Jordan and Luca are so much more than fashion and having their names woven together in a label. They are a fierce pairing who I know will continue to follow the other, to allow the other to shine. They have found their perfect fit, as unconventional and beautiful as it is. I think we should have a little applause. So we've come to the moment when Luca and Jordan are going to tell each other their vows. This is their declaration of love and what it means to them. So why don't you just stand a little bit further forward so you can look at each other while you're saying them, yeah? And Luca, I think, is going to go first.
Traditional wedding vows are about a hermetically sealed kind of love, exclusively for the benefit of two people, but this is a type of love that runs the risk of short-circuiting itself, and this is why, after 15 years together, I want to invoke the kind of love that can be best defined as universal empathy. Love should accommodate failings, imperfection, and mistakes, and show us exactly who we are. And when love meets itself,
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Okay. What was the trick? Like that. And when love meets itself, by traveling from one person to another and back, rather than being double, it multiplies indefinitely, traveling outwards, positively impacting everything it comes across with. Love is an emotion that has to be expressed in order to become real. Love must be set in motion, and when love makes that crucial journey from noun to verb, everything changes. Its power is unlocked, not just for us, but for everyone.
Beautiful, beautiful. And now Jordan's voice is a little challenged, so if you can't hear him, I might take over, but hopefully he's good.
Love cannot be selfish, or it stops being love. Love doesn't seek to own or control anyone or anything. It strives to nourish, not to devour. It's easy to underestimate love's power by seeing it as something domestic and sweet. We often make distinctions between romantic love, platonic love, familial and humanitarian love. But the love between two people that may seem private and strictly romantic is the very same love that can travel in an outward motion, affecting everything it comes into contact with. This is why today is as much about your love as it is about ours, because they are not two different things, they are one.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well done. I think that was amazing. So now I'm going to ask you, Luca. Now that you've made your promises to Jordan, do you promise to stand by them and everything you've just said?
I do.
And Jordan, do you promise to do the same?
I do.
Okay, so now we are going to have some rings. Ilias is going to bring out the rings for the exciting ring section of the ceremony. Wonderful, thank you, Ilias.
Thank you.
Okay, oh, they're stuck together. Okay, Jordan, would you like to put the ring on Luca's finger and repeat these words after me, please? No, turn your hand up the other way, that's it. That's the other hand, actually.
It's the fat finger.
It's the fat finger. Okay, Jordan, put it on his finger and hold it there and repeat after me. I'm giving you this ring.
I'm giving you this ring
As a binding promise.
as a binding promise
That I will be by your side.
that I will be by your side
Today, tomorrow, and forever.
today, tomorrow, and forever.
Luca, pop that onto Jordan's finger, please. And repeat after me. I am giving you this ring.
I'm giving you this ring
As a binding promise.
as a binding promise
That I will be by your side.
that I will be by your side
Today, tomorrow, and forever.
today, tomorrow, and forever.
Okay, now Luca, I'm afraid you're going to have to suck up your dislike for kissing because this is the moment I'm going to ask you to kiss Jordan in front of this huge crowd. It's a big one. It's your first as a married couple, so please kiss.